Hi, I'm Mona Channet, and this is Beyond Unboxed. Pre recorded on West Kent Radio, joins me the band Our Own Way on vocals, Adele and Kevin on bass, both part of the tribute band for Fleetwood Mac. Hi, I'm Mona Channet for West Kent Radio. In this special part series, I recently spoke with Our Own Way, the Fleetwood Mac Tribute Band, ahead of the performance at the Stag Theater in Seven Oaks on the 5th of June. In this first part, I'm joined by Adele on vocals and Kevin on bass as we go behind the scenes from how the band came together to how they recreate the unmistakable Fleetwood Mac sound, capturing the emotions and energy audiences love.
Fleetwood Mac means a lot to so many people. What was it at first that inspired you to bring together the band On Our Way?
Well, it was my idea at the beginning of everything. We've all been in all different bands. We've all come from different musical backgrounds. And I was so inspired by Fleetwood Mac throughout my life. My family were always playing their music at home. They were a big part of my life growing up. And I just knew it was always something I wanted to do. So I decided to quit the band that I was currently in at the time. And I made that jump and I started auditioning people. It took me a long, long time to find the band that I have now, but it's been worth every second because they are such talented musicians. They've all come from all different backgrounds of musical experience and they are just absolutely amazing. And I'm very lucky and I feel like I've kind of my dream that I've had since a child has now become a reality. I'm overwhelmed. We're doing so well. I can't wish for anything more, really.
I have to say that it's a huge jump, a tall order to match anything Fleetwood Mac, and I believe that you've done that. But if you've had to pick, which Fleetwood Mac era speaks to you the most?
Well, from my perspective, I think it must be the Rumours album era, which I think it was released in 1977, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that particular album has sold something like over 4 million copies over its lifetime, which is incredible, isn't it? And it features all the big hits, all the ones we normally hear on the radio, like Dreams, Don't Stop, You Make Loving Fun, and of course, Go Your Own Way. And that's the hit that gave birth to our band name. And our usual set list does include pretty well every track off the Rumours album. It does vary slightly. So that is the era that we focus on. And we are a 5-piece as per the original 5-piece from that time. So yeah, that's what we focus on. A couple of songs from the Peter Green Fleetwood Mac. So that was the original Fleetwood Mac from many, many years ago, from the 60s. And we, as a nod to him, he's a great musician, sadly passed away. So we do a couple as a tribute to that era of the band as well.
When the audience comes to see Our Own Way, what do you want them to feel by the end of the evening?
Oh, that's very simple. Firstly, when people leave the theatre or the venue, we want them to feel and say that they've had a great evening and they really enjoyed themselves. And then secondly, to feel that what they experienced was a worthy tribute to the iconic Fleetwood Mac. And so that's what we try to do. And I think we normally get it right. I mean, we always try to meet the audience after a gig. We'll stand at the exits. And it's very interesting, the feedback we get, which is a big help to us, helps us know that we're either doing something right or doing something wrong.
Fleetwood Mac songs are famously emotional and personal, and especially for me, myself. I can actually identify with so many of the songs. How do you stay true to make it still yours?
I think where the songs were written and a lot about when they were going through relationship breakups, everyone's been there. We've all been heartbroken. So that's how we relate to it because a lot of the music that was written was when they were so emotional, you know, they were hurting and things like that. So they put pen to paper and they wrote about it. And I think especially the Rumours album, that was right in the midst of when Stevie and Lindsay were breaking up. And I think both of them just started writing and they created some of the most famous, amazing songs. I mean, you've got Dreams, you've got Silver Springs, you've got Go Your Own Way. And they're all about the breakup between that certain couple. And then obviously Christine and John as well. You know, Christine was writing a lot of music and we all relate to it. And singing it sometimes, especially if you've been through that, singing it pulls at the heartstrings. And I do think, especially songs like Landslide, I do get a little bit emotional sometimes and you just can't help it because you feel the music, you feel the words. And I think that is a really, really good thing when you have that emotion for the songs as well, because it comes across, I think, in your performances.
I totally agree with that. And speaking of the word pull, which track is the toughest to pull off live?
It is very challenging to replicate all of the songs, to be honest. They're studio tracks originally, and that most people listen to on the radio and other music platforms. Even back in the 70s, technology played its part. Fleetwood Mac, they produced their songs with guitar overdubs, like a lot of other bands do, layered vocals, and with the addition of other instruments. And in latter years, it wasn't uncommon for the band to use 4 or 5 additional musicians on stage when they were performing live, plus backing singers. So that was obviously augment their sound. But I would say the most difficult one from my perspective, I don't know what Adele thinks about this, we had a lot of fun performing it, is Tusk.
Yeah.
It's very obviously, it is very challenging because when they recorded the original track, it was done at the Dodgers Stadium in Los Angeles, which maybe you're aware of, Mona. I'm guessing you're American.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I'm always very careful because if you call an American a Canadian, it's a bit like calling a Scotsman an English person in this
Oh,
country.
I don't mind anymore.
Yeah, oh good. Yeah, so they recorded that live, and the marching band was like 112 members. So to replicate that is very difficult. But I think all things considered, I think we do a great job in performing Tusk. We don't use any technology such as backing tracks. It's all live.
Wow.
In my tongue, actually.
It's all live. And that raises the bar to many artists today, that's for sure. If there's one song that always gets the biggest reaction, what song would you say that would be?
Do you know what? We get all different types of reactions to different songs. So sometimes we see people that are getting like crying and getting emotional
Yeah.
when it's the slower songs. I think one that really goes down well is Everywhere. As soon as Ali, who's our Christine McVie, she starts on the keyboards with that first few notes, the crowd just go absolutely crazy. And we always end the first set on that song as well because it makes people want more because we've ended on such a big song. It's just a fantastic song. It's very popular, especially I know with the kids on TikTok as well. It's one of the ones that's really, really up there at the moment. But also as well, I think like Don't Stop and Go Your Own Way, again, 2 amazing songs. We end on them songs because we know it's going to get everybody up dancing, and they do. Usually the floor is packed with everyone dancing by the time we get to them 2 songs.
And speaking of emotion, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of energy behind all the lyrics and the sound of the music. Do the real life stories behind the band shape how you perform?
It does to varying degrees, I think. Maybe not so much their personal lives, although over the years it's been hard to avoid reading about their complex relationships, the drug taking and the fallouts with each other. But each member of our band, we've looked at our counterpart, we've studied the person we're trying to portray, and we basically focus on the musicianship, their musical influences, their approach to how they contribute to the overall Fleetwood Mac sound and the image, really.
Well, how does playing at a more intimate venue like the Stag Theater shape the way you perform compared to the larger venues that you performed at?
That's a difficult question, really. There is definitely a connection with the audience when playing an intimate venue, I'm sure. But no matter how big or how small the venue is, the audience reaction to our performance, it really shapes our show. If the audience is highly engaged with the band, we tend to feel the emotional encouragement behind that. And it really does energize our performance, often leading to spontaneous moments. I think Adele would know more about that than me, but yeah.
So, what can the audience at the Stag expect from the concert on the 5th of June? Are there any surprises whatsoever?
Oh, there's always surprises. I just think, they've got to be there. You've got to experience it. Come and see the show. You'll find out and you will have the best evening. And if you're not a Fleetwood Mac fan, which I always say, if you're not a Fleetwood Mac, by the end of our concert or our show, you will be a Fleetwood Mac fan, guaranteed, because the music just speaks for itself.
When you bring it back to home, don't you, by having that meet and greet? Are you seeing a new influx of generations coming to see your band perform?
Oh, 100%. With social media now, that has created, I've got a 16-year-old daughter, so I know. And her and her friends, they come to watch us. It's all over TikTok. I know that Silver Springs is a big hit on TikTok at the moment. And we get so many different age groups coming to our shows now. I see teenagers, early 20s, every generation. I see people that are in their 80s, their 90s, and they still enjoy the music so much. So I think Fleetwood Mac, every age group kind of feels their music and they understand their music. I always say TikTok is a major one for us because I think that has pulled the younger generation more in to liking Fleetwood Mac. I go into New Look and places like that now and I see Fleetwood Mac t-shirts.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's amazing and it's good for us. It's promotion, really.
For Fleetwood Mac fans,
Who've never seen Our Own Way, who are listening to, what would you say to persuade them to not miss the show?
I don't know. I'll try and be unbiased in my answer if I can. I mean, no, seriously. With the very sad passing of Christine McVie,
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Adele, I think she passed away on the 30th of November,
Yeah.
2022.
Mm.
I mean, it's hard really to believe that that's 3.5 years ago now. And, we saw the end of Christine McVie. That was really the end of the most talented lineup of Fleetwood Mac's long history. They've had, like, as you mentioned earlier on, Mona, they've had lots of different band members over the years. But I think when you look at success, and it's very difficult, how do you measure success? If you look at success with regards to album sales and concerts, the Rumours era Fleetwood Mac lineup that we portray is probably the most famous and the most well known. So, but to be honest, you never see that lineup again because Christine McVie has passed away. So unless you want to come and see Our Own Way, you will be treated to the Fleetwood Mac experience with the energy and the emotion that only a live performance can give you. And what more can I say? Please come along, see the show. We look forward to meeting you if you do. I say we always try and meet everybody after the show. So yeah, please come along.
I wish there was one word to combine emotion and energy all in the same sentence because that's exactly what I feel when I listen to Fleetwood Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Adele, Kevin, thank you so much for sharing your story and giving us the insight to Our Own Way. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you for having us.
Yes, Mona, thanks very much for your time. I really enjoyed it. And big hello to all the Fleetwood Mac fans out there.
you just heard Adele and Kevin of Our Own Way, the Fleetwood Mac Tribute Band, sharing how they bring the sound, spirit, and emotion of Fleetwood Mac back to life for audiences today. Speaking about the songs, the life experiences, how Fleetwood Mac's music continues to connect generations. I'm Mona Channet. Thanks for listening.